Today, I'm drawing one of the most iconic superheroes in all of comics, and many consider this hero to be the crown jewel of Marvel Comics. Of course, I'm talking about the one, the only, Spider-Man. And we're not going to just be drawing any version of Spider-Man. We're going to be drawing one of my favorite versions of the character. And of course, I'm talking about Spider-Man from Spider-Man the Animated Series. Now it's time to get started on this drawing. When I first started this drawing, I wasn't really sure what kind of format I was going to go with, so I started with a close-up shot and then quickly decided to pivot to something different. And since this was going to be a birthday gift for my twin brother over at Vasco Toys, I thought I should do something special. So I came up with the idea of trying to recreate a character sheet that animators commonly use to refer to while making a cartoon. This is something that I've never tried to do before, so I figured this would be a great challenge for my brother's birthday gift. So let's get into it. So the first thing you'll notice me doing is drawing these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines, but it's really a variation of the 7 heads method, which I'm going to be using here to help me keep proper proportions when drawing Spider-Man. For those of you who don't know, this method basically is where you take this shape of the head, you replicate the length of it 7 to 7.5 times in order to find the proper proportions while you're drawing something. So I'm starting by drawing the front view of Spider-Man, and I'm also going to be doing an unmasked Peter as well as a rear view of Spider-Man for this piece. Spider-Man the Animated Series was a cartoon that ran on the Fox Kids network from November 1994 till January 1998, running for a total of 5 seasons and 65 episodes. Many people consider this to be one of the best animated comic book adaptations of all time. It's certainly my favorite cartoon version of Spider-Man. My brothers and I would watch this together as kids, and it really was kind of our first introduction into the world of Spider-Man. We also watched X-Men the Animated Series, and I loved it when X-Men 97 came out this year, so I'm hoping they give the same treatment to Spider-Man with a continuation as well. Okay, so the front view of Spider-Man's done. Now we're moving on to Peter. One of the things I really like about this series is the character designs of really the entire show, but specifically Peter and Spider-Man. They draw Peter bulkier and more muscular than other adaptations have done, which I always liked because Spider-Man has super strength and I always felt he should be a physically imposing threat. So Peter has a great look, and he was voiced by Christopher Daniel Barnes, who I love as Spider-Man. He did a great job in this role. Okay, so now it's coloring time for Peter, and I really tried to get the same kind of colors as the animated series in order to replicate this as much as possible. This is actually my brother's favorite version of Spider-Man as well, so I really wanted to do a good job for him. Time to move on to the third phase of this drawing, which is the rear view of Spider-Man. So basically what I ended up doing here was taking the front view of Spider-Man, kind of erasing a lot of the line art and using that as a base to draw the rear position. And then I just went right into drawing the spider and all of the detail work. And I really like the spider on the back of Spider-Man's suit in this series. I think it looks really cool and has a really iconic look to it. The last few years for Spider-Man fans has been awesome. We've had the No Way Home movie as well as the other Tom Holland movies, the PlayStation Spider-Man series. If you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend playing it. Okay, so it seems like the poster would be done now, but I did want to add in some other elements that you typically will see on a character sheet, like the head of Spider-Man, and I'm also going to do a shot of him doing his webbing. I thought it would be really fun to include a side profile close-up of Spider-Man's head like this, just because it gives me a chance to get in there and really focus on the detail work, which you don't always get on a full body image just because you're more further away from the face. Okay, so now I am going to get into Spider-Man shooting his web, and hands are hard to draw. So this was a process. Drawing hands for me is always a process. I've always got to go back and edit a bunch of things before I'm happy with it. Drawing the webbing was interesting, and I hadn't done that before for Spider-Man, so that was also a cool challenge to try to undertake for this. And again, I'm trying to replicate the animated series art style, so I was very aware of what the webbing should look like in relation to that show. These two parts of the drawing are now done. Time to reveal the whole poster. Okay, so after switching around some of the layout on this and grabbing hold of that awesome 90s Spider-Man logo, I have the finished version of my brother's birthday gift, the Spider-Man The Animated Series character sheet. And if you guys like this video, please like the video and please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember in the comments to let me know which version of Spider-Man is your favorite and why. Thanks, guys.